Hey guys, Tim here. Today we're going to take a look at what I consider to be probably the low-end editing machine. We'll call it the $700 build. If you want to get into YouTube and you want to start editing and you want to have a pretty decent little gaming machine for only 700 bucks, well then I got the machine for you. Stay tuned. Okay, so we're going to start off the machine with the Roswell Black mid-tower USB 3.0. Why this? I don't know. It's got good ventilation. It's only 40 or 50 bucks, and it's got red LEDs. I don't know. Pick any decent airflow $50 or less case. I like the Roswell cases. Plus, I do like the fact that it has the side ventilation. You can add two 120 fans on there. And, you know, it's just kind of different looking from all the other cases out right now. It actually really reminds me of an Antec 1. So, and it's got a good interior. So there's like a fan up there. It's not, you know, it really does remind me of Antec cases. But, you know, it's a solid little case, and it's got some, you know, quick mount hard drive bays, and, you know, it should be good. It's got a nice big cutout up there for the CPU, and you know, all the cables other than the front I/O are black. Well, okay, it comes with two fans. I don't know, just seemed like a neat little case. We're going with the EVGA 600B. It's a 600 watt bronze power supply, and it's only 60 bucks. And it's got a $15 rebate on it right now, so depending on when you're watching this, check for rebates. Of course, all these prices are as of March 2014, so take that with a grain of salt. But like I said, so $46 for a 600 watt bronze power supply, and I've heard good things about the EVGA, especially from the fans. They tend to be a little bit quieter, but you know, good price, right? And that's the idea here of this case. It is not modular, but you know that the Roswell case should be more than big enough to be able to handle that. Onto the motherboard. In my mind, there's only two motherboards in the AM3 Pluses that are worth a damn. This is the lower cost one, and of course the other one's the Crossfire. So this guy's bigger brother in the ROG series. If I was building a higher end game rig with like an 8350, I'd probably go for the Crosshair. Sorry. Crossfire would be the technology that's in AMD's video cards, which we're not going to put in this system, but we'll get to that in a minute. So I have this board. You'll be seeing a review of it sooner or later once I get my my 6300 build going. But you know, two PCIe 16X slots. It's got good power distribution. It's basically just a solid little board, and it's under 100 bucks, so can't beat that. Of course, we're going with the 6300 because $110 for a 6-core processor that frankly just kicks ass. I don't know what else to say about that. It's a turbo overdrive of 4.1 gigahertz. It's going to be great for rendering stuff. Along those lines, we're going with some 1866 G-Skill RAM. I went with 8 gigs here. If you wanted to go to 16, you could. If you're like doing OBS, like video capture and editing, the extra RAM can help. Of course, you have to be using, like anything over 4 gigs, you always have to be using 64-bit for the OS to address the namespace. But good RAM, good price, right? Under 100 bucks for 8 gigs at 1866. Speed in your RAM will help in rendering. There's just no two ways about it, because your video card or whatever is doing the encoding is never going to be able to hold all the data. The less you have to cache the hard drive, the faster it's going to go. And along those lines, we're going to go with SSD boot drive. So only 120 gigs. You're only going to want to put your OS and whatever you're rendering on this drive. And 69 bucks. Sometimes keep an eye out. I've seen this go for as low as $49.99. So like, you know, these are just today's prices, but SSDs are fluctuating wildly right now. So just, you don't have to necessarily go with a Kingston. Just get 120 gigs. Make sure it's you know, a SATA 3 and from a reputable brand, and then buy the cheapest one you can find. Along those lines as well, we of course going with the blue, because you need a terabyte of storage if you're going to be rendering videos. You might need more, but this is the minimum I would suggest. So you render and encode to the SSD, and then when you're done, you copy them over here to archive. And finally, the piece de resistance, what makes this be able to be a lower cost build for editing instead of like something over $1,000, is the brand new EVGA GTX 750 Ti. You know, I've seen people overclock these up to 1500 megahertz. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend that. It probably would fry your system, but you're going to be able to get more than that boost clock from what I've seen. And obviously, it's only got 640 CUDA cores, but if you're using something that's CUDA enabled, this will drastically reduce your rendering times. I actually have a 760, which I think only has 200 more CUDA cores than this, and it does a pretty darn good job encoding videos. Like, you know, my encode times are usually under 10 minutes. So, and it's got 128-bit memory, 2 gigs. That's also a big deal. So if you're doing video encoding, I would not buy a video card with anything less than 2 gigs of onboard GDDR5, because that really does make a difference. So that's it, guys. This is what I would consider the, you know, $700. I want to do YouTube and game and goof around and not spend, you know, all the money in the world. Honestly, I think this is going to be a rock solid system for $700. You can obviously buy, you know, a bigger SSD, a bigger hard drive, a fancier video card if you want, but you know, this is kind of a really good base system. The 6300 6-core is an awesome part, and that Asus motherboard is, you know, rock solid. So this is Tim for Timmy Tech TV. We'll see you guys next time.